In the first part, we shared with you the recipe that I've had in my family for many generations now, a Christmas pudding recipe. The other dessert that we always make for Christmas is our special cassava cake. Hi, hello, my name is Bong Austero. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, this is part 2 of my Vlogmas. The other dessert that we always make for Christmas is our special cassava cake. You know, Noche Buena is not complete without a cassava cake. And I guess this is true for many families, for many homes, no? Noche Buena is about the cassava cake. And this recipe I will share with you is a special recipe developed by my grandmother. Ang pinilit ko lang talaga dito na my own personal touch is that I substituted evaporated milk with fresh milk. I've noticed that mas softer, mas lighter yung texture ng cassava cake pag fresh milk ang ginagamit instead of evaporated milk. My grandmother, syempre nung panahon niya, wala pa siyang wala pang fresh milk nung panahon na yun. I mean, the kind of fresh milk that we have right now. Okay, so it begins with cassava, and it has to be, as much as possible, freshly harvested cassava. Kasi kung medyo matagal na siya sa palengke, kung mga inabot na siya ng isang buwan, mapait na siya at saka matigas. Okay, so when you buy cassava, kausapin niyo yung suki niyo na yung bagong deliver, okay? Yung bagong harvest pa lang na cassava. So, you grate it. I'm going to show you now how I did it about a few hours ago. Okay, so that's how you grate cassava. One recipe for a cassava cake. One recipe, medyo malaking pan, kaya lang yung malaking pan namin hindi kasya sa bagong oven namin. One recipe calls for 4 cups of grated cassava. Okay? Piniga siya. Pigain niyo siya kasi tanggalin niyo yung katas niya kasi medyo mapait din yon. Okay? So itong nandito ngayon, 8 cups ito. So bali dalawang recipe. So medyo madami itong cassava cake na gagawin natin ngayon. So apat ito. So for every recipe, I will put in the description box the ingredients that we use. For every 4 cups, you need 1 cup of white sugar. So kasi dalawang recipe, so 2 cups of white sugar, 2 eggs, kasi dalawang recipe. Isang recipe, isang egg lang. Saka isang recipe, 4 cups of cassava, 1/4 ng butter. So since this is dalawa, kalahati ng butter, okay, melted butter, okay. And then for every recipe, you need 2.5 cups of fresh milk and 1.5 cups of coconut milk. Ito yung coconut milk, talagang yung kakanggata, yung talagang galing sa niyog. Pwede rin namang galing sa lata, okay? But nagkataon lang, meron kaming kakangniyog kanina. Kakanggata, sorry. Yun. Sige, so we'll do it now. We'll start with the... So since this is 2 recipes, we will have 3 cups, no? Lalabas ito na parang... Actually, sayang naman siya. Konti na lang. Okay? Ubusin na natin. Okay? This is not exactly rocket science. Okay? So... 2.5 cups, 1.5, 3 cups, 3 cups of, kasi dalawang recipes ito. If you want it less sweeter, then bawasan nyo yung sugar. Pero, in my observation, tama lang yung 1 cup for every recipe. Kasi maglalagay pa pala ng custard sa ibabaw. Okay? So, pwede naman yung custard hindi masyadong matamis. Okay. So So we'll add the milk now. This is lightly beaten, 2 eggs, kasi dalawang recipe, and melted butter. And we just mix this together. I add konti lang na vanilla.
Wow!
And now let's add fresh milk, okay? So, for 2 recipe, tamang-tama lang. Isang buong pack ng fresh milk. And this is it. You just mix this together.
Wow!
Until it's well incorporated. I usually just do this twice a year, Christmas and my birthday. Kasi pag birthday ko, ito yung ni-request ng mga office mates ko usually every year. Sometimes, when a good friend of mine has a birthday or a special occasion, pag nalalambingan ako, hinihingi nila sa akin, gawa ka naman ng cassava cake mo. Okay. Actually, madali lang naman siyang gawin. Medyo labor-intensive lang talaga yung pag-grate ng cassava. Some people I know, they nilalagay nila sa food processor. Kaya lang I tried it once, hindi ko gusto yung texture eh. Hindi mo kasi makontrol yung texture ng cassava, kaya ayoko ng pino-food processor yung cassava. Mas maganda pa yun yung gini-grate mo, okay? Using a cheese grater. Okay, we'll just keep on doing this. Tanong, what else ang kaya kong gawin na dessert? Hindi ako marunong masyadong bake ng cake. Hindi ako. Marunong naman pero hindi masyadong magaling. Hindi kagaya ng pamangkin ko. Since may pamangkin ako na siya yung magaling mag-bake, siya na lang ang nag-bake, okay? Hindi ikaw yun, si Joanne ang nag-refer ko. Yung aking cameraman na pamangkin ko. Akala niya siya. Okay. Mauna akong gumawa ng leche flan. So again, for some strange reason, medyo hindi talaga ako mahilig sa leche flan. Kahit nung bata pa ako, hindi ako mahilig sa leche flan. Marunong lang akong gumawa. Pero hindi ko siya nai-enjoy. Hindi kagaya ng cassava cake o ng buko salad. Okay, maybe for New Year we'll do... we always do buko salad for New Year in this house.
Wow!
Okay, so it's well incorporated now. I don't wanna overmix it. Although, wala naman itong baking soda, kaya there's no danger in overmixing it. Okay, just a few more para lang to make sure that the sugar is melted. I mean, not melted, the sugar is well incorporated into the mixture. So, if you're using a pan na hindi mo ilaline ng wax paper, you need to make sure that it is brushed with oil to make sure na hindi ka mahirapan magtanggal. But since we're going to use wax paper, we don't have to brush it with oil. Although, ang problema naman dito, minsan dumidikit siya sa cassava cake. So, minsan kumakain ka ng wax paper. Alright, so the oven, we prefer to have an oven na portable lang. Okay. Rather than buying, kasi wala na kayong paglagyan sa bahay namin ng malaking oven. Has been preheated already. Okay. So, ready na siya actually. So, we're ready. Okay, so we'll line this with wax paper. Just make sure na may overhang para madaling tanggalin. Personally, ayoko ng pan na masyadong makapal kasi ang hirap lutuin ng cassava cake kung makapal masyado. Yung kagaya ng baking pan na ginagamit namin when doing Christmas pudding, hindi pwede yun dito kasi matagal lutuin. Will not feel it kasi talagyan pa siya ng custard sa ibabaw. We'll show you how we do the custard in a while. We bake it for like 30 minutes to 40 minutes depending. Pag malapit na siyang maluto, we take it out, we put the custard on top, tapos ibabalik siya. Just to brown the custard. Again, I'm sure you have your own recipe. This is ours, okay? And we've had this for the longest time as far as I can remember. And this recipe produces the softest, chewy cassava cake that I know of. Okay. Last one. Two recipes produce 3 pans of medium sizes. I guess dalawang malaki siya dapat. Kaya lang hindi nga kasya yung malaking pan. So this is it. We'll put this in the oven now. Again, like I said, the oven has been preheated already. Okay, so it's now in the oven. We'll just have it checked after 30 minutes. Okay, so malapit na maluto yung first batch ng cassava cake. I think it should be done. Actually, I think it's done already. Nag-brown na siya eh. So we're preparing now the custard, which goes on top of the cassava cake. Okay. We're preparing custard. Hopefully, this is good for the 3 pans that we were able to do with the 2 recipes. Essentially, it's fresh milk. This is about half a cup of fresh milk, 1 can of condensed milk, 2 eggs. Okay. And we're cooking it in a double boiler. And I'm cooking it in a double boiler so that it doesn't stick to the pan. In effect, what I'm doing is yema. Okay, this is the kind of custard that we prepare. Some people, they prefer custard with a little bit of flour. O kami, we prefer the custard to be yema. Okay? Yung caramel siya actually on top. So we're almost there. It's almost cooked. You can see that it's browning already. And when you stick, wala na. Okay. So just a few more minutes. We're now going to pour the the custard on top of it. Okay. And we'll put it back in the oven. And let's finish off the baking process. Okay, when we return, we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so hi, this is the final stage of the whole process. So, nangarag na ako. It's 11 o'clock in the evening. This is what it looks like when it's done. Supposed to be chewy. The one on top is that caramel, custard, sorry, it's a custard. Provides additional texture and taste to the cassava cake. Okay? One of the things people tell me about our cassava cake, our recipe, is that it's the softest, chewiest cassava cake that they've ever had. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Of course, one of the reasons why it tastes like this is because it's still very, very hot. Okay, so this is it. I hope if you plan to have a different cassava cake for your Noche Buena or for a media noche for New Year, you can consider our recipe. We'll post the ingredients in the description box. That's it for our second Vlogmas. The next one will be on Pagol. We will have a contest in the house as to who gets to decorate the Pagol the traditional way, the way we've always done when I was in the elementary and the high school. Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye-bye. God bless.